Hello everybody, welcome back to Fed One Languages. Our today's video is regarding the third person singular of the present tense formation when we are conjugating regular verbs and irregular verbs in English, okay? So in English, most of the verb, when we are conjugating them, we use the bar infinitive to form or to create their present tense. For example, to like. In present tense or simple present, we say I like, you like, she likes, he likes, it likes, we like, you like, they like. But as you could notice, we in the third person singular, we add an S. So in English, we add an S to the third person singular of all regular verbs. So let's go to it. Let us read the first rule. We add an S to the base form of the verb. Okay? So to form the third person singular of a regular verb or irregular verb in English, in present tense, we add an S. As we said, for example, I like, you like, but when we got to the third person singular, we add an S. We say she likes, he likes, it likes. We got this example here. She wants. Okay? The verb in present tense is like I want, you want, but when we got to the third person singular, we change it. We just add an S. She wants, he wants, it wants. Then we continue. We want, you want, they want. Okay? With their base form. All right. So the second rule is we add an ES, we add ES to the base form of the verb when it ends in double S, CH, when it ends in double S, SH, CH, X, double Z, and O. All right? And we got some example here. The first example is miss. Like, I miss you. You miss me? All right? Then she misses you. We add an ES when the verb ends in double S. She misses you. Hey, my mom says that she misses you a lot. Mi madre dice que te extraña bastante, te extraña mucho. My mom says she misses you a lot. Okay? So we add ES. We don't say my mom miss you a lot. We say my mom misses you a lot. Okay? And the rest of obviously the rest of the conjugation, we use the base form of the verb, like I miss you, I miss you, you miss me, we miss you, they miss you, whatever. Okay. The second example is wash. Okay. My son washes his car by himself. Okay. Mi hijo, ¿verdad? Lava su carro él mismo. My son washes his car himself, for example. So the present tense is like I wash, you wash, he washes, she washes, it washes, we wash, you wash, they wash. Okay? So we got the same with teach. For example, Lucia teaches Spanish. Lucia teaches Spanish. I can say I teach English. I teach French, for example. You teach French, and we teach whatever. Okay, they teach. But when we got to the third person, we add an es. We add es to the base form of the verb, and we say teaches. Okay, Lucia teaches Spanish, but he teaches English. Obviously, it teaches awesome lesson. All right. We got the next verb here, which is vex. When they end with X, we also add an ES. For example, Paola vexes her brother a lot. Paola vexes her brother a lot. Paola como molesta, fastidia a su hermano demasiado, ¿verdad que sí? Todos tenemos una hermanita fastidiosa, ¿verdad? So Paola vexes her brother a lot, okay? So I vex, you vex, she vexes, he vexes, it vexes, you know, when something makes you annoyed, okay? So this is the meaning of vex. We vex, they vex, okay? We vex, you vex, they vex. I'm sorry. But when we remembering when that for the third person singular, it is he vexes, she vexes, it vexes. All right? So the same thing happens with fizz. Fizz, okay? The verb fizz, like I can say, when you open a beer or when you shake a beer, the beer uh, fizzes a lot. I mean, the beer fizzes when you shake it. You know, when you shake up the beer, it fizzes. Or any beverage, carbonated, any carbonated beverage, when you shake them up, or when you, for example, you open them sometime, they fuzzes, they fuzz. But if you're talking about one drink, one beverage, you say that beverage fuzzes, okay? Sea espuma o hace burbujas, lo que sea. So we got this auxiliary verb do, the verb do. So we say I do, you do, you know. But when we got to the third person, we say she does, he does, it does. For example, my daughter does her homework all by herself. Okay, ella hace su tarea por su propia cuenta. She does. Okay. Eh, so I do, you do, she does, he does, it does, we do, you do, they do. You see, we only for this we add es to the base form of the verb when it ends in o. Okay, to form the third person singular of the present tense. All right. So we got the last one, which is go. I go. You go. You see, she goes. Huh? It goes. He goes. We go. They go, etc. So let's go with the third rule. For the third rule, we change the y to I and add es when the verb ends in a consonant plus y. For example, to study. You see, we got studies. All right. For example, I study, she studies. Okay. She studies medicine, for example. I study modern languages. She studies medicine. Huh? He studies. It studies, for example. But we study, they study, you study. Okay? Hurry, for example. Hurry. She hurries, he hurries, it hurries. Okay? So when the verb ends in a consonant plus y, we change the y for I and add es. For that reason, we got study, I study, you study, but when we got to the third person singular, we change the y for I and add es, and we say she studies. All right, you understood? You understand this? We got a fourth rule, and it is read like that. The following auxiliary verbs change completely. For example, to have, I can say I have, you have, but we cannot say she has. You know, so it doesn't follow the rules when we add a s, when we add an s, you know. So we just, and here it just changed because this type of verbs, those auxiliary verbs, they have their own form of conjugation. You understand? For example, for to have, it just it just changes in has. Okay, I have, you have, she has. Okay, she has a baby. Huh? I have two daughters. Example. She has a baby. He has a son. He has a car. Okay? It has. All right? We have, you have, and they have. You see? So this is the rule. We could have a, I'm sorry. Let's continue with 2b. For example, 2b, we cannot say 2b obviously is very irregular. Oh my gosh. Because we don't even use the base form of 2b, to form the present tense. We say I am, you are, she is, it is, he is, we are, you are, they are. Okay. For that reason, when I made my last video was about auxiliary verbs, we dedicated that time to them because they are very unique uh, with their conjugation form. Okay, formation, form. I'm sorry. So yeah, so the verb to be, the third person singular in English of the present tense, it changes to is. So it changes completely. Okay, we say I am, you are, then we got she is. Okay, we could have a fifth rule, and I'm gonna give you that as a homework because I have a video that we talk about a type of verbs that do not change. No matter what the personal pronouns is, no matter what the subject pronoun is, they do not change. You just use the base form of the verb. Let me give you 30 seconds to find out which type of verbs are those. Mhm. You can type in the comments. Remember, so far, we've had videos about modal verbs, auxiliary verbs, and now regular and irregular verbs. Which one of those do not take S at all? Oh, you're right. Modal verbs, because modal verbs, they do not take S. You just use the bar infinitive of the verb to conjugate them, okay? For example, can, the verb can, the modal verb can. We say I can, you can, she can, he can, it can, we can, they can. We cannot say she cans, okay? The same thing for may. I may, you may, she may. We cannot say she mays. You understand? The same happens with all the rest of the verbs, modal verbs. Okay, so those verbs they do not take any s. If you want to have a sixth rule, we could say, okay, other verbs ending in vowel plus y, they take s. But I mean, those verbs are included here because at the end of the day, we say all the verbs to conjugate all the verbs in present tense and the third person singular, we add an s. Exception with rule number 2, rule number 3, rule number 4, and the rule number 5 that you just got, which are the modal verbs, which is for the modal verbs where we don't add s at all. We don't add s to them. Okay, so thank you so very much for watching our video. I hope you like it, you enjoy it, and please comment, share with your family and friends, subscribe if you haven't done it yet. Thank you so very much. See you soon.